If Road Atlanta didn't get you excited, Spa sure will. As we approach T1, we're on the lookout for the 100 board for the braking reference. Also, as you can see, there's some tire marks right there in those two spots. Roughly, you want to be braking in this area. You're going to be up to fourth gear. No sense in going up to fifth gear. Just lift a little bit and brake. You could even use the rev limiter as your brake marker. And it's going to be a very late turn in. It's a very, very important corner because we have a very long straight following this. So it's really important to get on throttle very, very early. So get the rotation done early and get on throttle as early as you can. As we come down the straight here onto a rouge, what we're looking for is the best line that's not going to bottom out the car too much to lose us speed, because that will definitely happen. What we want is roughly left tires through there is what we want. And we kind of want to have a pretty late turn in so we can ride up the hill with as little steering input as possible. Keep it in fifth. Don't shift up to sixth. You're going to be slower if you do. And as we come down to Lacombe, we're going to be on the lookout for the 100 board as well as this curbing over here. Those are our two signals. As you can see, I'm away from the edge of the track by a little bit here, by maybe half a car width. And that's because I'm lining up the car. I want to use the edge of the track, which is the left side of this curbing there. And so I'm lining it up to kind of go in diagonally into there. And as you can see, we get on there as we're braking. And we're looking to turn in fairly early because we want to get onto this green stuff. It's really important that we get onto this green stuff. If you miss it, then you're going to go wide. Also, this little edge on the curbing kind of hooks the tire and it allows you to rotate even more if you do it right. So take advantage of that. And ideally, we want to be as right as possible so that we can open up the left-hander here. And same principle here as the corner before. We try to hook our wheels right there so that helps us rotate. If we have our tires too far over here, we're going to bottom out though. So it's a fine line of how much you can use. Try to get it back to the left as much as possible, but don't sacrifice so much to go to the left that you miss out on the apex. It's really easy to do that. You're so focused on getting the car to the left side that you forget, I need to start turning. And if you do, you're going to lose tons of time. So just get as far to the left as possible. Keep an eye out for the apex, right? Keep your vision on the apex so that you can turn in at the right time. We're going to use all the road. Even tires as much as that much on the gravel here is not going to be an off track. So take advantage of that. The car will bottom out here, but it's okay. And as we come into Rivage here, we want to be on the left hand side. You can either double apex this or kind of a late apex. It just depends what you're more comfortable with. We want to be braking right about here, basically, right before the curbing. As you can see, I do somewhat of a double apex here. That's the first apex. Kind of let the car roll out to the left-hand side. And as we're able to see the exit there, we want to get on throttle. So pay attention to the exit. Want to get on throttle. We don't want to run all the way out here. We want to kind of like to the left of the middle of the track and get the car back to the right-hand side. It's really important to open this up. Shift up to third and immediately shift down to second to get the rotation for this next left-hander at no name. You want to get your tires kind of halfway on this curbing, ideally, right? So if you're not being able to come back to the right-hand side curb, then that means you use too much track on the left-hand side on exit of Rivage. If you're able to get all the way over here, then you probably didn't get as good of an exit as you think out of Rivage and you're losing some time. And on Apex, we can use a lot of this curb, a lot. And similar to the exit of Lacombe, we can use a little bit of this gravel on the right-hand side on exit. So utilize that. You won't get an off track. And as we come into Pouhon, depending on where the wind is coming from, if the wind is coming towards you, headwind, then you can brake much later. The car will plan itself. But if you have some tailwind behind you, try not to brake too late because the car will understeer quite a bit here. Not really a great reference point, to be honest with you. We got the 50 board over here. You can see we got some light barriers over here. We got, I think, a Marshall's post over here. Not great references. This is more about timing. Keep your eye on the apex, and when you feel it's right, you go for it. A lot of trail braking to keep the car on the left-hand side here. And then the throttle's got to be really fast and confident. If you're not, then you're not using the car's full downforce. Okay, as we come into the S's, we're on the lookout for the beginning of the curb for our brake marker. We want to brake before that. We don't really want to come in onto the curbing like this, like we did at Lacombe. It's a similar corner, but you don't really want to. Kind of want to just stay in this area here. Because this curb, I find that it upsets the car a little bit more. Down to second, and we're going to hug this right-hand side. And the car will rotate on throttle quite a bit. So you just got to find just how much throttle you can use. Ideally, you want to be middle or to the right-hand side of the middle of the track so you can open up this left-hander. You don't want to sacrifice so much that you're over here. There's no need to do that. You're going to sacrifice too much speed on the corner prior. And overall, you're going to lose time. So just about the middle of the road, early turn in, and try to hook your car onto this curb in over here. Fairly early throttle, and the car should rotate on throttle nicely. And again here, similar to the other corners on exit, you can use a little bit of gravel before you get an off track if you need it. I try to brake diagonal here to Stavelot. I try to put my left hand side tires onto the curb a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit to open it up. I'd rather brake early here than late. And as you can see, this is a minor mistake here because I braked a little late and I missed the apex. And I lost about maybe like 3 or 4 hundredths here. So try not to brake late. And as you can see, I'm fairly close to the apex, but the throttle is just not that confident. It takes a while. On other runs, I was definitely gaining a lot of time on this exit. Alright, let's fast forward here. Blanchemont's going to be easy flat out. Try to widen it out here on the edge on the green stuff. And as we come in for the chicane, what we want is to kind of position the car so we can brake in a straight line to the edge of the track, which is going to be the curbing on the left-hand side of the track. You can also come over here to the left-hand side and just brake in a straight line along parallel to the edge of the track. Same thing. It's up to you what you feel more comfortable with. Obviously, if you brake diagonal like this, you cover less track and you may gain a little bit of time, but it's more tricky to execute that. On the brakes, basically, I'm just paying attention to this white line, and there's a little bit of a dark spot over here on the track, and this is more of a feeler type corner. It's more about the release of the brake to get a nice turn in. So don't be too worried about where you're braking. Be more focused on where's the apex and how much do I need to release to make it to the apex. Don't worry about braking late. And similar to the S's, we want to be either middle or to the right-hand side of the middle so we can open up this left-hander as much as possible. A little dab of the throttle here should help keep the speed up. And you have two options. You can either run over here or you can run with the left-hand side tires over here. One or the other. So right-hand side tires here, max, so the car over here on exit, or left-hand side tires here, car on this side. Either or, try not to get onto this last third of the curbing because it triggers traction control and will slow you down. You don't want that. As you can see, I took the approach of being on the right-hand side. I opened it up, but either works. It's really up to you. And that is a lap at Spa. Good luck, guys. It's going to be a popular week. There's going to be a lot of people out there driving. Road Atlanta was a tough one. A lot of wrecks. A lot of people driving as well, so this is going to be no different. Just stay cautious, play it safe, get some iRating, and we'll see you on track.